Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Rashmi Sinha from Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today, we are going to talk on module Evolution of Human Growth from the paper Human Growth and Development. In this module, we'll discuss about the life history theory. 1. States of human cycle, addition of new stages in human life cycle during evolution, how do childhood stages evolve, evolution of adolescent stage, and 2 pathways through the adolescence. Biological evolution is a continuous process of genetic and genomic adaptation of organisms to their environment. Natural selection determines the direction of evolutionary change and operates by differential motility between individual organisms prior to their reproductive maturation and by differential fertility of mature organisms. Human growth, development and maturation have evolved sometimes as discrete process but more often as an integrated series of biological events. Dobzhansky in 1973 said, "Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution." The study of growth of human body holds utmost importance for evolutionary biologists because its multicellular organisms' major evolutionary change precedes by alteration in the pattern of growth, development and maturation. The human species is no exception. The human pattern of growth and development appears to differ markedly from pattern of growth in other primates species in following ways. 1. Humans have four stages of growth and development between birth and adulthood. They are the infancy, childhood, juvenile and adolescence. The infancy and juvenile stages are shared with most non-human primates, social carnivores, elephants and many cetaceans. The childhood and adolescent stages are human species specific features. Human childhood and adolescence evolved because they confer reproductive advantages, increasing the fertility of the parents and reaching the mortality of their offspring. This is classic natural selection. Adolescents may have evolved by both natural selection and sexual selection. Adolescents may contribute significant amount of food and labor to their families, and this enhances reproduction by the parents and survival of their offspring, which is natural selection. The sex-specific features of adolescent girls and boys enhances opportunities for apprenticeship type of learning, practice of wide variety of economic, social, political and sexual skills needed for their own adulthood and successful reproduction. Humans have 4 stages of growth and development between birth and adulthood. They are infancy, childhood, juvenile and adolescent. The infancy and juvenile stages are shared with most non-human primates, social carnivores, elephants and many cetaceans. The childhood and adolescent stages are human specific and they have very specific features. Human childhood and adolescence evolved because they confer reproductive advantages, increasing the fertility of the parents and reducing the mortality of their offsprings. This is classic natural selection. Adolescents may have evolved by both natural selection and sexual selection. Adolescents may contribute significant amount of food and labor to their families, and this enhances reproduction by the parents and survival of offsprings. The sex-specific features of adolescent girls and boys enhances the opportunities for an apprenticeship type of learning and practice of the wide variety of economic, social, political and sexual skills needed for their own adulthood and successful reproduction. This is the sexual selection. What is life history theory? It is a branch of biology that studies the selective forces that have guided the evolution of the schedule and duration of key events in an organism's lifetime as these relate to investment in growth, reproduction, and survivorship. Each species has its own life history, that is, a pattern of allocation of energy towards growth, maintenance, reproduction, raising offspring to independence, and avoiding death. It is important to emphasize that this pattern is not conscious or planned by individual group of individuals or species. Rather, it constitutes the set of biological and behavioral traits that characterize a species which evolve via a series of trade-offs, that is, cost to an organism's fitness in one trait due to investment in the other trait. As you can see from the table, which is self-explanatory, it illustrates the amount of growth or distance and rate of growth, or which we call velocity, of healthy human beings from birth until adulthood. You can see it's self-explanatory. You can see that the postnatal infant growth is rapid as rate of deceleration. In human, the hormones responsible sexual maturation also cause the adolescent spurt in stature and other skeletal dimensions. The growth spurt, which is notable feature of adolescent growth stage, but not only for defining characteristic, begins at about 10 years for girls and 12 years for boys. The adolescent spurt and growth of skeleton ends at about 18 to 19 years for girls and 20 to 22 years for boys. And with this, the adulthood or reproductive stage of life history begins. There are also significant changes in dentition, motor control, muscular development, cognitive function, and emotions associated with human infancy, childhood, juvenile, and adolescent development. Anthropologists, human biologists, physicians, and others have been increasingly interested in explaining the significance of human life history. This interest is due to the discovery that several aspects of human life cycle stands in sharp contrast to other species of social mammals, even other primates. Evolutionary theory needs to explain how humans successfully combine a vastly extended period of offspring dependency and delayed reproduction with helpless newborns, a short duration of breastfeeding, and adolescent growth spurt, and then menopause. In humans, research is mainly focused on postnatal stages of life cycle to study change in the rate of growth after birth and the timing of the onset of reproductive maturation. This is due to the fact that majority of the mammals progress from infancy to adulthood seamlessly without any intervening stages. Further, most mammals experience puberty after the peak velocity of postnatal growth. Let us now understand what are the different stages of human life cycle. The stages of human life history between birth and adulthood are infancy, childhood, juvenile, and adolescent, as told earlier. Each stage is related by characteristic of dentition, changes related to the method of feeding, physical and mental competencies, or maturation of reproductive system and sexual behavior. Let us take one by one. Now, infancy. In infancy, rate of growth is characterized by steep deceleration in velocity. Motor skills, that is, sitting without support, crawling, walking with assistance, develop rapidly during this stage. This phase of human life is also marked by the eruption of the deciduous dentition. Human infancy ends when the child is weaned from the breast, which in pre-industrialized societies occur between 24 to 36 months of age. Complementary food, which supplement mother's milk, are introduced to the infant's diet sometime before the age of 1 year after birth, but nursing provides important nutrients, immune substances, and emotional support to the infant. By the end of the infancy, that is 3 years of age, the youngster can run short distances, pour water from a pitcher, and manipulate small objects. The development of the skeletal musculature and nervous system accounts for all these motor and cognitive advances. As can be seen from the figure, the rapid growth of brain is most important during infancy because no other tissue or organ of the body grows more rapidly than brain. Childhood. Childhood stages follows infancy and is demarcated by its own pattern of growth, feeding behavior, motor skills, and cognitive development. The slow progress of growth during infancy ends at the beginning of the childhood, and the growth rate levels off at around 5 to 6 centimeters per year. This slow and steady rate of human growth maintains a relatively small sized body during the childhood years. Human children require specially prepared food because of their immature dentition, the small size of their stomachs and intestine, and the rapid growth of the brain. The human newborn uses 80% of its resting metabolic rate for brain growth and function. With age and usage of resting metabolic rate for brain growth decreases. At the age of 5 years, it is 44%, whereas in adult human, it is between 20 to 25% of RMR. Among chimpanzees at a similar stage of development, RMR values are about 45, 20, and 9% respectively. Two of the most important physical developmental milestones of human childhood is the replacement of deciduous teeth with eruption of first permanent teeth, and the completion of the brain growth. In addition to these, cognitive and emotional capacities mature to new levels of sufficiency. Language and symbolic thinking skills mature rapidly. The mid growth spurt is another important feature of human childhood. This spurt is associated with an endocrine event called EDNARCHE, the progressive increase in the secretion of adrenal androgen hormones. These adrenal androgens produce the mid-growth spurt in height, a transient acceleration of bone maturation, and the appearance of axillary and pubic hair, and seem to regulate the development of body fatness and fat distribution. Now, what happens in juvenile? The evolution of the juvenile stage of primate is associated with both social complexity and dietary complexity, including foraging for fruits and seeds, etc. Study of juvenile primates and human juveniles in many cultures indicate that much social learning takes place during this stage, and a learning hypothesis has often been proposed to account for evolution of juvenile stage. It has also been argued that primary reason for evolution of juvenility appears to be a strategy to avoid death from competition with older individuals while living in social group. Among humans following the childhood stage, the individual enters the juvenile stage, which may be defined as the time from about 7 to 10 years for girls and 7 to 12 years for boys. At this stage, the development juveniles have sufficient maturity of many body systems such as dental, locomotors, and cognitive systems to allow for self-feeding capability. Much important learning of economic and social skills takes place during this stage. Juvenility ends with puberty, which is an event of short duration that takes place in the brain within or near the hypothalamic pituitary axis and results in reactivation within the central nervous system of sexual development. This includes a dramatic increase in the secretion of sex hormones, which is one of the marker of onset of adolescence. The adolescent life history stage of growth, development, and maturation lasts 5 to 10 years after the onset of puberty. Other notable features of adolescence include a growth spurt in height and weight, the completion of permanent tooth eruption, development of secondary sexual characteristics, and the intensification of interest in and practice of adult social, economic, and sexual activities, leading to socio-sexual maturation. Adolescence ends with the cessation of skeletal growth in length, the completion of dental development, and the sexual maturation. Adolescence. Human adolescence begins with puberty. It is a stage of life where social and sexual maturation takes place. This stage also includes development of secondary sexual characteristics such as development of external genitalia, sexual dimorphism in body size and composition, and the onset of greater interest and practice of adult pattern of socio-sexual economic behavior. Both boys and girls experience a rapid acceleration in growth velocity of skeletal tissues, that is, adolescent growth spurt. Adulthood. This stage begins with the completion of growth spurt, the attainment of adult stature, and full reproductive maturity, that is, physical and psychosocial maturity. Height growth stops when the long bones of the skeleton and the vertebral bodies of the backbone lose their ability to increase in length. Usually, this occurs when epiphysis, the growing end of the bones, fuses with the diaphysis, the shaft of the bone. The fusion of epiphysis and diaphysis is stimulated by gonadal hormones, the androgens and estrogens. These are also the hormones that promote reproductive maturation of the body and the brain. The course of growth and development during prime reproductive years of adulthood are relatively uneventful. The later life stages are the old age and senescence follows the prime years of adulthood. The aging period is associated with gradual and sometimes rapid decline in the ability to adapt to environmental stress. Unlike the biological regulation of growth and development prior to adulthood, the aging process appears to follow no species-specific uniform plan except menopause, the event of later adult years that is experienced universally by women who live beyond 50 years of age. Men, on the other, have no similar event. Now let's talk of addition of new stages in the human life cycle during evolution. In Size and Cycle, Bonner develops the idea that the stages of life cycle of individual organisms are the basic unit of natural selection. The presence of a stage and its duration in life cycle relates to basic adaptations such as locomotion, reproductive rates, and food acquisition. To make sense out of the pattern of human growth, one must look for the basic adaptation that Bonner describes. The most basic of these adaptations are those that relate to evolutionary success. This is traditionally measured in terms of number of offsprings that survive and reproduce. Biological and behavioral traits do not evolve unless they confer upon their owners some degree of reproductive advantage in terms of survivors, a generation or more later. How do childhood stage evolved? From the evidences on the life cycle of extinct species inferences for hominids, based on comparative anatomy, comparative physiology, comparative ethology, and archaeology hypothesized patterns of brain and body growth in apes, human, and their ancestors. You can see in the figure that apes have a pattern of brain growth that is rapid before birth and relatively slow after birth. In contrast, humans have rapid brain growth both before and after birth. The human-ape difference is not due to single heterochronic process, that is, not the result of delay, prolongation, or acceleration of basic ape-like pattern of growth. Rather, it is due to new patterns of growth of human species. Martin hypothesized that human-like pattern of brain and body growth becomes necessary once adult hominid brain size reaches about 850 cc. This 850 cc adult brain size may be achieved by all hominoids, including extinct hominids, by lengthening the fetal stage of growth. At brain size above 850 cc, the size of pelvic inlet of the fossil hominids and living people does not allow for sufficient fetal growth. Thus, a period of rapid postnatal brain growth and slow body growth, the human pattern is needed to reach adult brain size. Brain growth for both apes and human end at the start of the juvenile stage, which means that apes complete brain growth during infancy. Humans, however, insert the childhood stage between the infant and juvenile stages. Childhood may provide the time and continuation of parental investment necessary to grow the large human brain. The pattern of growth of fossil hominid species are reconstructions based on published analysis of skeletal and dental development of fossil specimens that died before reaching adulthood. The prolongation of total time for growth that plays such prominent role, however, is not sufficient enough to account for the insertion of new stages of childhood and adolescence that are part of human growth. Australopithecus afarensis is considered by most paleontologists to be hominid, but shares many anatomical features with non-hominid pongid species, including an adult size of 400 cc and a pattern of dental development indistinguishable from extant apes. Therefore, the chimpanzee and Australopithecus afarensis, as depicted in the figure, are sharing the typical tripartite stages of postnatal growth of social mammals: infant, juvenile, and adult. As can be seen in the figure, the great apes and the fossil hominids such as Australopithecus or early Homo seem to have reached this demographic dilemma by extending infancy, forcing a demand on nursing to its limit. Early Homo may have overcome this demographic dilemma by reducing the length of infancy and inserting childhood between the end of infancy and juvenile period. This certainly occurs among modern humans. As often cited example, the Kung are the traditional hunting and gathering society of southern Africa. A Kung woman's age at her first birth averages 19 years and subsequent births follow about every 3.6 years, resulting in an average fertility rate of 4.7 children per woman. An increase in the brain size from 850 to 900 cc with the evolution of Homo erectus justify the insertion of childhood period to provide the biological time needed for rapid human-like pattern of brain growth. It should be noted from the figure that the model of human evolution proposed here predicts that from the Australopithecus to Homo erectus stage, the infancy period shrinks as the childhood stage expands. Barry Bogan in 1988 lists following reasons for the evolution of human childhood from the perspective of reproductive success. 1. An extended period of brain growth. 2. Time for the acquisition of technical skills, for example, tool making and food processing. And 3. Time for socialization, play, and the development of complex social roles and cultural behavior. Insertion of childhood may be better viewed as a feeding and reproductive adaptation for the parents of child, as a strategy to elicit parental care after infancy, as a strategy to minimize the risk of the starvation for the child, a means of shift in care of offspring from parents, especially the mother, to juveniles and older post-productive adults, and as mechanism that allows for more precise tracking of ecological conditions via development plasticity during the years. Thus, in addition to above mentioned 3 explanations, there are at least 5 additional reasons for evolution of childhood. Now we can call it number 4 as the childhood is a feeding and reproductive adaptation. The evolution of childhood as a stage in human life history fills the gap between the infant's dependency on mother for food via nursing and the feeding independence of the juvenile. This frees the mother from the demands of nursing and the inhibition of ovulation related to continuous nursing. This decreases the interbirth interval and increases reproductive fitness. 5. A stimulus to release these parental behaviors towards children may be found in the very pattern of growth of the children themselves, in that the allometry of growth of the human child releases nurturing and caregiving behaviors in older individuals. The human child maintains an infantile appearance, that is, with large cranium, small face and body, little sexual development, which stimulates nurturing and caregiving behaviors in older individuals. 6. Children are relatively inexpensive to feed. The relatively slow rate of body growth and small body size of children reduces competition with adults for food resources, because slow-growing small children require less food than bigger individuals. A 5-year-old child of average size and activity, for example, requires 22.7% less dietary energy per day for maintenance and growth than a 10-year-old juvenile on the 50th growth centile. 7th, the task of child care becomes even less tiring because babysitting is possible. Since children do not require nursing, any competent member of a social group can provide food and care for them. Early neurological maturity versus late sexual maturity allows juveniles and young adolescents to provide much of their own care and also provide care for children. 8. A further important reason for the evolution of childhood is that childhood allows for the developmental plasticity. The term plasticity means a potential for change in the phenotype of individual caused by change in the environment. The fitness of a given phenotype varies across the range of variation of an environment. When phenotypes are fixed early in development, such as in the mammals that mature sexually soon after weaning, environmental change and high mortality are positively correlated. Social animals, the carnivores, elephants, prolong the developmental period by adding a juvenile stage between infancy and adulthood. Social mammals prolong the developmental period by adding a juvenile stage between infancy and adulthood. Evolution of adolescent stage. An adolescent stage of human growth may have evolved by the process of natural selection and sexual selection. Both types of selection were identified by Charles Darwin. Where natural selection operates to increase the frequency of genotypes and phenotypes that confer reproductive advantages on the individuals possessing them, sexual selection depends on the advantage which certain individuals have over individuals of the same sex and species in exclusive relation to reproduction. Adolescence may be the key in helping the next generation rear its young successfully. This stage may provide boys and girls with a life history strategy to survive to adulthood, the immediate benefit, and as a long-term benefit to practice complex social skills required for effective mating and parenting. Sexual selection may have acted on the mating and natural selection on parenting. There are certain trade-offs associated with the adolescent stage, such as the delay in the onset of reproduction and risk for damage and death. It seems that risk may have overweighed by the reproductive advantages of adding adolescence to human life history. Adolescence as apprenticeship. We can see it in this perspective also. Some life history theorists empathize that an adolescent stage of human growth evolved to provide the time to learn and practice complex economic, social, and sexual skills required for effective food production and reproduction and parenting. From this perspective, adolescence is the time for an apprenticeship, working and learning alongside older and more experienced members of the group. The benefit of skills acquired during adolescence are lower mortality of both first-time mothers and their offsprings. This places the apprenticeship hypothesis for the learning and practice value of adolescence firmly within Darwinian natural selection theory, and it is likely that the learning and practice of adult skills play an important role in human growth. The unusual growth of human pelvis. A fundamental of human growth that delays female fertility until the late teenage years is the growth of the pelvis. Bipedalism is known to have changed the shape of the human pelvis from the basic ape-like shape. Apes have a cylindrical shaped pelvis, but humans have a bowl-shaped pelvis. The human shape is more efficient for bipedal locomotion but less efficient for reproduction because it restricts the size of the birth canal. Human women may need a longer period of pelvic growth to compensate for the restriction. The cross-cultural studies of reproductive behavior show that human societies acknowledge this special pattern of pelvic growth. Next one, two pathways through adolescence. Natural and sexual selection for adolescent applies to both boys and girls. The forces of natural selection are same for both the sexes, but the particulars of sexual selection are different. The adolescent development of boys is quite distinct from that of girls. Girls look reproductively mature years before they are actually fertile. In contrast, boys become fertile well before they assume the size and the physical characteristic of men. Analysis of urine samples from boys from the age 18 to 16 years old show that they begin producing sperms at a median age of 13.4 years. The delay between sperm production and reproductive maturity is not wasted time in either a biological or social sense. The obvious and the subtle psychophysiological effects of testosterone and other androgen hormones that are released after gonadal maturation may prime boys to the receptive to their future roles as men. Evolution of menopause. In addition to childhood and adolescence, human life history has another unusual aspect, that is menopause, combined with the potential of many years of healthy post-reproductive life. In contrast to non-human female primates, the human reproductive system is shut down well before the other systems of the body. Human women may be healthy at menopause and may have 20 or more years of relatively active life following menopause. The inevitabilities of primate biology combined with creativity of human culture allow women of our species to develop biocultural strategies to take greatest advantage of the post-reproductive life stage. Let us summarize what we have learnt in this module, Evolution of Human Growth. This chapter takes a life history approach to the study of human growth and development. The postnatal life cycle of social mammals, including non-human primates, has three basic stages of postnatal development: infant, juvenile, and adult. The human life cycle, however, is best described by 6 stages: infant, child, juvenile, adolescent, adult, and post-reproductive women. The new life stages of human life cycle represents feeding and reproductive specializations. Hominins prior to the genus Homo probably had life histories similar to living apes than human. Part of the reproductive success of human species is due to intense investment and care those parents and other individuals lavish on infants and children. In the course of human evolution, at least since the appearance of genus Homo in the last 2 million years, patterns of growth were shaped by natural selection to promote and enhance parental investment. One way this was accomplished was by stimulating what may be called psychology of parenting. Moreover, complete package of modern life history with our distinctive biocultural reproduction and long post-reproductive life spans for women took shape with the evolution of modern Homo sapiens around 1,25,000 BP. Thank you.